This girl is locked inside a bathtub, and the water temperature starts rising fast. She screams in unbearable pain. She keeps begging, but the nurse coldly tells her she has to stay in for a full 20 minutes. Time's up. The nurse drags her out of the scalding water, then dumps her into an ice bath for 5 minutes. She's being tortured. She nearly stops breathing, and then the nurse declares she's cured. She can be discharged. This place is a psychiatric hospital, but the way they treat patients here is absolutely horrifying. They drill 2 holes into a patient's skull, then puncture the brain's frontal lobe, or they go straight through the patient's eye socket. One hammer strike, and the frontal lobe is shattered. After that kind of procedure, the patient becomes docile and empty. Anyone watching can't help but feel sick. Cured, you say. This brutal treatment makes the young nurse turn away, gagging in disgust. But our female lead isn't like that. She watches closely, studying every detail. She even claps in approval, because she's not a real nurse at all. Her name is Sarah. Weeks ago, she drove here to apply for the job, waited for hours, and still got rejected by the director. She couldn't accept it. The next day, the mayor came to inspect the hospital, so Sarah stole a nurse's uniform and blended right in. She sneaks into the pharmacy and swaps a patient's meds. Just like that. The patient has an episode on the spot. Sarah seizes the moment and steps forward. She puts on an emergency rescue performance right in front of everyone. The mayor praises her for staying calm under pressure. He even wants a photo with Sarah as a public reward. The doctors have no choice but to keep her on. But Sarah knows once the mayor leaves, they'll kick her out for sure. So she targets a patient, a schizophrenic man, and pushes him towards suicide. She tells him there's a letter opener on the doctor's desk. Then she leads him into the office. Moments later, the body is discovered. The doctor panics. He has no idea what to do. That's when Sarah steps in and whispers, "Go deal with the mayor first. I'll take care of the body." In the end, the corpse is burned to ashes, and Sarah successfully stays in the hospital. Of course, she didn't do all this for a job. This was never about work. It's because she has a secret, one she can't tell anyone. A week ago, 4 priests were murdered at home. The crime scene was a nightmare. After the killer was caught, the public demanded he be executed. But by law, he had to be sent to this hospital first for a psychiatric evaluation before facing trial. And Sarah is the killer's older sister. She'll pay any price to infiltrate this place and get her brother out. However, ever since he arrived, he's been under constant guard. Even showers come with handcuffs. Worse still, there was an eyewitness at the scene. That testimony is devastating for her brother. To protect him, Sarah goes after the witness. She approaches him on purpose, wins his trust, then lures him to a hotel. She drugs his tea. 1 sip, and he blacks out. Now, Sarah picks up a hammer and an ice pick, creeping closer. The witness is tied to the bed. Sarah raises the pick, aiming straight for his eye. This is a crude lobotomy. 1 tap with the hammer, and the victim becomes a blank shell. It's a trick Sarah learned at the psychiatric hospital. Now the witness is completely gone in the head. Let's go, we can't get anything out of him anymore. But even with the witness silenced, they still need the doctor's evaluation. If the doctor signs a mental illness certificate, her brother can escape the death penalty. Sarah coaches her brother on how to fake insanity, but he acts a little too perfectly. Instead, it makes the doctor suspicious. Your symptoms are textbook. This kind of perfection honestly makes it hard to believe you. Without that certificate, her brother is as good as dead. So how do they deal with the doctor? Sarah begins plotting in silence. That day, she discovers the doctor's secret. Years ago, he was hired by a powerful chairwoman to treat her son's severe neurological disorder, but something went terribly wrong. When the doctor wasn't looking, the son poured hallucinogens into his drink. After that, both of them lost their minds. When they came to, the son had become disabled. His arms and legs were gone. The doctor fled and disappeared ever since. To avenge her son, the chairwoman hired a bald hitman to hunt the doctor down and erase him. And by coincidence, that hitman is Sarah's neighbor. Sarah learns this information and immediately forms a plan. She tells the doctor about the hitman, then lures the assassin in, claiming she knows where he is. "Follow me, I'll take you to him." The hitman breaks into the hospital, but the doctor was ready and knocks him out. When he wakes up, he realizes he's trapped in a bathtub. Where am I? Where am I? But the water keeps getting hotter and hotter. His skin is practically being cooked. He barely escapes the tub, only to run into hospital security, and his horrific appearance makes the guard panic and fire on sight. The hitman is dead. Sarah tosses him into the crematorium to destroy the evidence. Now the doctor is in her hands too. To keep his own crimes hidden, he has no choice but to agree. He'll sign the mental illness certificate for her brother. That same day, the hospital holds a spring dance. Both doctors and patients can attend. Sarah finds her brother and tells him to go crazy at the dance. That way, everyone will believe he's mentally ill and he can dodge the death penalty. But Sarah calculates everything except one thing. Her brother has his own plan. He's secretly involved with a young nurse, and they plan to escape during the dance. He grabs a blade shard and takes out a security guard. The nurse pulls a gun and forces everyone into a corner. Just like that, they break out together. They hide in a warehouse and spend the night, roasting potatoes by the fire. The next day, the police catch up. The young nurse is executed on the spot, and her brother is dragged back in chains. The public erupts in fury. To win votes, the mayor decides, no matter what diagnosis he gets, the execution will go forward. And to satisfy the crowd, the mayor orders the cruelest punishment possible. Sarah's brother is the next target. He's handcuffed, escorted into the execution chamber, and strapped into the electric chair. He's a death row inmate, about to face the most brutal sentence of all. Outside the window, a crowd gathers to watch. The man trembles in terror. Everything is ready. The mayor pulls the switch and seals the door. Electricity surges through his body instantly. He shakes violently, but he's not dead yet. He's tortured slowly and cruelly. Then, smoke pours off him. His body starts to burn. People immediately turn away. They can't stomach the cruelty anymore. When the switch finally drops, the man in the chair is dead. And the next one scheduled for that chair is Sarah's brother. When she hears this, Sarah breaks down. She can't bear to watch him suffer. So she begs the mayor, hoping he'll grant her brother a merciful death. But the mayor refuses. For votes, he insists the electric chair is the only way. Sarah goes to the head nurse and steals poison. If her brother can't escape death, she'll send him off herself. At least he won't suffer before he dies. But then something unexpected happens. Inside the hospital, a schizophrenic patient suddenly snaps. She believes she's a doctor now. She even claims Sarah's brother is her important patient. They have to take her to see her patient. A guard tries to stop her, but she shoots him dead. The head nurse freezes in fear. She leads the woman to the jail wing and releases Sarah's brother. "I'm the doctor. You're my patient. Understand?" This insane woman has the head nurse shaking. But Sarah's brother isn't afraid at all. "Are you crazy?" Before leaving, he has one question. "Where's my sister?" With a gun pointed at him, the head nurse collapses. He asks what Sarah's plan really is. Trembling, she finally tells the truth. "Sarah was going to kill you. She knew you'd end up in the electric chair. She couldn't stand watching you suffer, so she wanted you to die the gentlest way possible." Hearing his sister meant to kill him, he's completely devastated. Without a word, he turns and walks away. The two take out a guard and drive off into the night. On the road, Sarah and her brother pass right by each other. Watching him disappear, Sarah instantly understands she's lost her brother forever. Years later, in a small border town near Mexico, Sarah and her friends spot a newspaper. The headline is about a massacre targeting nurses. 7 nurses were brutally killed. Sarah's face turns pale the moment she reads it. Then her phone suddenly rings. Sarah knows her brother has finally found her. "Do you like my gift, sis? I got your attention, didn't I? But you're the one who should be scared now. Because I'm coming for you, Edmund."